A32NX is ready for copy clearance to exit.
Scandinavian 70 Castle Tower, very good evening. You left Amsterdam by the Lango 1 Charlie departure runway 25, squawk 4.
After departure 122.8. Tak.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I hope we're doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Chester, big love to you too, mate. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Winter Splash, of course. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, how are you doing? Welcome, Ramsey. Welcome, dude. I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you, as always. Welcome. It's time to fly, dude. Let's go. Are you flying with us? Are you getting on VATSIM? Are you going to fly with us? Paul, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I'm doing very well. Yeah, thank you. How are you doing? Eric, welcome to the chat. My favourite part. I'm so flattered, dude. That's very humbling. Thank you very much, dude. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Paul, welcome to the chat. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Yeah, thank you so much for asking. Asa also, good evening. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always, brother. Glad to hear that. Winter Splash, welcome. Ricky Luke Jr., welcome to the chat over in the USA. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you, and good afternoon to yourself. Ramsey's at work, wounded. Well, at least you can watch along with us, dude. And it should be a good stream today. It should be a good stream. I'm super excited for this one. And yeah, as just making this light a bit warmer. It's looking a bit cold. Brian, good evening. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. But yes, guys, very excited for this flight today. It should be pretty cool. We're flying from Copenhagen with Atlantic Airways. We're flying the A320neo, the A32NX, of course, by flybywire. And we're going to be flying from Copenhagen down to Innsbruck in Austria. As you guys probably well aware of, extremely infamous airports in the world of aviation, and especially flight simming. I think everybody likes a bit of Innsbruck from time to time because of its very interesting approach down the valley. So it should be pretty fun. We've obviously done Innsbruck a few times on the channel before, some successfully, some not so successfully. Most notably when we flew the DC-6 in there and I completely forgot about the hydraulics. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. We've got a controller on, as you may be able to hear a little bit. We've got a controller on at Copenhagen at the moment. I believe they've literally just logged on, which is fantastic. And I'm expecting ATC coverage for more or less the full journey today. There is an event on in Austria as well, so they're going to have full ATC coverage in Austria. And I believe there's an event on at Munich as well, so it's probably quite likely that coming over Germany will have center controller coverage all the way as well. So it should be pretty exciting. It's the first time I've flown into Innsbruck whilst on a ATC network. And look at that in the background there. You guys can probably just make it out behind the chat. There's a little, there's a Norwegian aircraft taxiing out there on VATSIM. Love to see it. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting, and without further ado, let's get on with it. Hey, Paul, thank you so much for the £5 tip there. Much appreciated. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's very kind. Brian, Ramsey, and Ricky also, thank you very much for liking the stream over on Facebook. And let's get on with things, really. Winter Splash not flying today. No worries at all. No worries at all. Well, you enjoy your flight in the 777, dude. Are you being real at this time of the night and in this weather? I'm looking forward to a smooth but safe landing. Yeah, hopefully it'll be smooth. But what we're doing today is, if I just switch on over here, we're actually going to be flying. We're flying live weather. This is live weather, but I've just put the time back to daylight so that we can obviously see a bit better. And coming into Innsbruck as well, on the off chance that we do have the opportunity to do the circle to land, which is a visual maneuver. Obviously, you can only do that during daylight hours. So I've put it to daylight for those reasons, and I've also noted in my remarks on my VATSIM flight plan that we are using daylight time in the simulator, so that the controller should know as well that we're using daylight, which is quite nice. So yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Like I say, live weather is all you need, really. The time is just I mean, let's be honest, if we were to always use live time at this time of the year, we're pretty much always going to be flying in darkness, which, although it is good, and I do enjoy it, I think for the stream, it generally translates quite a lot better when it's daylight hours, and I try and mix a few nighttime ones in here and there, so that it's not always daytime, but when it's very dark, it sometimes can appear very dark on the stream as well. So yeah, just trying to find that balance, really. All right, cool. Let's see then. So do we want to use Sim Toolkit? Not Sim Toolkit. Do we want to use self-loading cargo today? I think we should give it a try. Let's give it a try. I'm just going to do a bit of this. And a bit of... Where has it gone there? A bit of that. and a bit of that, and we're pretty much ready to get underway. Let's see, have we got an Atlantic? Oh, we do have a sound pack for Atlantic. That's fantastic. We'll go for that, and the default cabin layout, and we'll bring in our flight plan from SimBrief. We'll get this all set up first, and then we'll jump in the aircraft and have a look. We've actually had our first officer already on board doing some of the initial checks and some of the FMC work in the MCDU. So yeah, we've already got some stuff set up and ready to go inside the cockpit, and we'll obviously get underway and check things through before we set off. So that's all ready. We'll put that over here for now. And let's have a look then. So here we are at Copenhagen. This is FlyTampa Copenhagen. As you guys probably know already, this is one of my favourite sceneries. It's just absolutely stunning. The way they've rendered the airport is just it's just incredible, really. So detailed, so nice. Got an EasyJet over there, and another EasyJet over here on his way in. Love to see it. As you can see, we're here in the Atlantic Airways A320. They do have a bunch of A320neos in their fleet, and this is a real-world routing. They don't currently fly this routing, but it is one they've done in the past, so that's enough for me. And yeah, it's fantastic livery made by Tommy BK, as you guys may have heard his name before in the livery scene for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And yeah, very nicely done indeed. Even got the registration in the right spot, which is always nice to see. Nevertheless, let's jump inside then and have a look. So, as you can see, we've already had the first officer in here doing some of his checks. Let's just go ahead and turn down a few things here. Just going to turn the ATC down for a moment, as well as the music, and we'll have a look in here. So, checking the overhead panel, just making sure that everything has been completed up here. There's no lights on, everything's looking good. We've already got our nav lights on. We've already fueled the aircraft, so we'll turn the seatbelt signs on as well now. And we've got the correct lights on. Everything looks good. The first officer's already done all the fire tests, so we don't need to worry about that. Coming down to the MCP, it's not completely finished off yet, but everything's looking good as it is for now. Down here, everything looking good. We've still got a few doors open, but that's fine. We haven't actually got the passengers on board yet. In fact, tell you what we're going to do is we're going to go ready for boarding, and we're going to start the passengers boarding now. Coming down here, we'll come back to the MCDU. Radios are set up fine. We're currently on the tower frequency for Copenhagen. And which reminds me, we'll go ahead and just request the ATIS whilst we have a look around the cockpit here. Just make sure we've got everything sorted. We'll send this off so that it's sort of going to arrive in a couple of seconds. Everything's looking good down here. Transponders obviously not fully set yet because we don't have our clearance. Everything else looks good down here. Cockpit door is open for now. That's fine. And then coming back over here, everything is all set. As you can see, we've already got a bit of a route in, so we'll go through and check that after we've got our clearance, and we'll do a departure briefing. We do have company message down here, so let's go ahead. Let's get that printed off. We'll need that for our clearance. Okay, cool. Coming back down to the printer, there we go, fantastic. Takes a minute to appear recently. It's interesting. Okay, so let's just check this real quick. So we've got Kastrup Airport departure and arrival information whiskey, and we've got expect ILS approach. That's not relevant for us. Runway departure runway is 2 right, which is what we planned for, so that's fine. Transition level is 7.5. Wind is 200 at 90 knots, so quite a lot of wind here at Copenhagen, but it's more or less just straight down the runway, so not too much of an issue for us. Visibility more than 10 kilometers. Light rain. Sky condition overcast. 1,400 feet. Temperature is 7 degrees, so we'll need some anti-ice on departure. And we've got QNH of 974. Okay, perfect. Squawk mode Charlie on pushback. Great stuff. So the QNH is 974. So I'm just going to set that and press B on the keyboard and make sure it matches the sim, which it doesn't. So the sim appears like the live weather's still not perfect even after the updates. 974 there. Oh, that's interesting. It does actually say 974 on the METAR for this airport, but for whatever reason, the QNH in the sim is still reading as 983. Fair enough. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead. Not the music. We want a clearance. I'm just going to turn up the radios. My frame rate has died. I don't know why. Look at that. The sun's coming out now. Oh, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? EasyJet over there. That's a VATSIM user. Got an aircraft just taking off there. You can see his little green lights.
On Bravo 4. Speedbird 814, welcome to Texan Charlie 27.
Just getting the levels right for the ATC. You guys will have to let me know what it's like.
Charlie 27, taxi via Bravo Romeo and cross runway 30 for Speedbird 814.
Okay. Copenhagen Tower, very good afternoon. Faroeline 9012, stand Charlie 29, type A20 November, QNH 984, information whiskey request IFR clearance to Innsbruck.
Faroeline 9012, Castle Tower, very good evening. You're clear to Innsbruck by the CMAC 8 Charlie, departure on May 2 right, squawk 2213.
Clear to Innsbruck, CMAC 8 Charlie, departure, runway 22 right, squawk 2213, Faroeline 9012.
Faroeline 9012, lead bank quick.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got our clearance. 2213 is the squawk code. We'll stick that into auto for now. That's all good. So let's go to our MCDU then and just make sure everything is correct and make sure our first officer's done their job properly. So, right, let's have a look. So nav data is valid. We're on our last day that it's valid today, 1st of December. It runs out, so that's fine. We'll go to our init page. Obviously, that's all being filled in by our first officer here. So I'm just going to bring up the OFP on my other screen here and just check the details. So we've got a cost index of 15. That is looking good. Cruising flight level of 380, and our alternate is Munich. Obviously, our flight plan for today is Copenhagen to Innsbruck, and our flight number is Foxtrot Lima India 9012. So that's all correct. We'll go ahead and have a quick look through the flight plan here. So this has already been input for us by our first officer. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure that all matches up correctly. So let's bring this across here. We're gonna.
Tower, good evening.
We are gonna have a look at. Yeah, so we'll have a look at the ND here. We'll bring up the chart and just make sure things match up correctly. So this is our departure route, the CMAC 8 Charlie departure. So let's make sure that matches, and we'll do a full briefing as we get underway here. So let's see then. So we're coming out straight to the southwest, then a right turn, and then out to the east, which is looking good. And then we should expect another little turn there to the south, to CMAC. That's looking good. And then on to our en route waypoints, which should look like this. So just having a look at that, coming now over Germany, and then south. back in towards the east a little bit, and then back south again down here. And then to Tulsi, which is our arrival route. So Tulsi to Rattenberg, like so, and then this is our final approach here. That's all looking good. That's in and that's perfect. So we'll close that off. We'll come back down here and just make sure everything else is filled out. So we've got RadNav page, we've got the Castrup VOR tuned, and the ILS for 22 right. That's fine. Init B has not been done yet because we did not have the aircraft loaded when our first officer set this up. So let's bring these numbers up. So 60.5 on the 0 fuel weight is what we're looking for. That is bob on. So we'll put that in there. And then our block fuel should be 6.8 tons. We're going to put 6.9 and just round it up. That's looking good. We'll let it do its calculation. Our average wind component is going to be a headwind of 24 knots here. So we'll stick that in as well. Trip fuel should be 3.8. We've got 3.4, so we're going to have a little bit extra, 0.4 extra. The route reserve, we're going to set to 0.6 on this side here. Our alternate fuel is going to be 1.3 tons right here. Only going to Munich, so not very far. As you can see, 37 minutes from Innsbruck. Final reserve is 0.9, which is fine. And then, as you can see, we've got 2.2 minimum destination fuel on board, and then the 0.5 extra, which is about right for what we're expecting, so no worries at all. It doesn't look like the sim brief perfectly matches up the trip fuel just yet with the actual add-on, so we'll maybe tweak that at a later stage. So let's finish our perf off. We've got a transition altitude of 7.5 as denoted here on the ATIS, so I'll put that in. Sorry, that's our transition level, isn't it? So transition altitude will take off the charts, which I believe is 7,000. So I'll put that in there. I'll just check that on the chart real quick. So bringing that up, you can see at the top here, transition level is actually 5,000. So it actually had that in there correctly. I believe actually what the A32NX will now do is it will actually bring in the transition altitude from your SimBrief flight plan. So it will basically recognize which airport you're at and then put in the transition altitude. Another little nice little quality of life improvement that SimBrief kind of brings with it now being owned by Navigraph, which is really cool. We'll go ahead and put flaps 1, and then we're going to do a flex of 60. We'll do 55 today. As you guys know, I usually go for 55 or 66. That works fine, which is going to give us a V1 of 134, 135 and 139er for our takeoff speeds. So that's looking good. Everything is done there now then. So all we need to do is, let's see. We'll just arm the ground spoilers. Just press B on the keyboard and see if the sim has updated the QNH. Yeah, it has not. And I'll just get my checklist. Okay, we're pretty much ready to go for a pushback now, but I will do a departure briefing with you guys to begin with. So I'm just going to actually bring the route up on here again. Okay, cool. So we've got the passengers on board now. That's fine. Okay, so let's do a departure briefing then. We'll go ahead and bring up the charts here. I'm going to leave this stuff at the side here just so I can check stuff as we go along. Put it on plan mode, that would probably be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, cool. So we're currently here at Copenhagen. That's the doors just closing behind us there. And just to stop that sound from triggering, I'm just going to remove the jetway. Hopefully that should resolve our issues there. I've got a British Airways next to us as well. Love to see it. Oh, it's a bit damp on the ground here, isn't it? There we go.
Speedbird 818 vacated runway on Bravo 5.
Why is it just? Why is there something that goes wrong with self-loading cargo every single time? It just says please close doors. The doors are not open. Let's just try do this.
Via Bravo Romeo 7. Brian 3226 going around.
Brian 3226, watch the 12, and also you can call me once you're established.
Stand out, Mr. Rose calling you back when established, Brian 3226.
Every time. Come on, look. Please close doors. Like, what do you want me to do? Oh, I think it's counting the cargo doors and things like that as doors as well, isn't it? So we'll get rid of the catering and baggage, and hopefully that should stop it. All right, cool, fine. All right, so we are then at Copenhagen. Let's see if this is going to work. Symlink. There we go. Okay, so we're at stand Charlie 29 at Copenhagen. We're taking off on runway 22 right, so we can expect a pushback facing south, and taxi routing is probably going to take us down Romeo. And then let's have a look, see here. So Romeo, we might just go straight down Romeo, then Bravo, cross runway 1230, Bravo, and then Echo 1, potentially onto 22 right. I think that's probably the most likely scenario. I think I've had that taxi routing before from this pier, so I would probably expect that actually. So I'll write that down. So I'm expecting Romeo, Bravo, cross runway 1230, and then Echo 1. So I'll make a note of that. So that's probably our taxi routing, and then taking off runway 22 right. This is an RNAV departure, or a P RNAV departure, which don't ask me what the P stands for. Anyways, transition altitude, as we know, is 5,000 feet, and there's a note here: conventional navigation to 1,500 feet MSA, and then after takeoff, remain on tower frequency until 1,000. Then contact Kastrup departure. I don't think the departure is on at the moment, so we'll most likely just get passed either to Unicom or to a center controller. So just having a quick look, I'll just see if there is a center controller on, because we can anticipate that. Okay, so we've got noise abatement procedures, and strict adherence during initial climb out is mandatory. Refer to 10.4. So let's have a look at that real quick, because this is not something we do too often, but we'll see if we can adhere to that today. So 10.4 we need. So 10.4 is not on here. It's probably on here.
Lufthansa 5, Papa Mike.
Okay, no, it's here. Right, fine. Okay, so let's see if I can work this one out. So
Airbus A320neo at gate Charlie 28 with information whiskey request IFR clearance.
Okay, so you've got these sector boundaries here. And the monitoring points. So the noise abatement is very small area really.
Say again the squawk please for Lufthansa 5 Papa Mike.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Mike, squawk 5124.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on how that's going to apply to us, to be quite honest. Let's have a look here. Propeller aircraft as well as turboprop. All jet aircraft should avoid overflying Greater Copenhagen, which we are. Okay, fine. We are going to comply then, I believe. So that shouldn't be an issue. So, like I was saying, we're going to climb to 1,500 feet minimum at DME2 from the Kastrup VOR. We're then going to head out to the southwest and then take a left turn out to the southeast. And then we're going to head more or less east or east-northeast out to CH382, then to Denek, then out to the southeast again to Simeg. So we should be fine there. We've got minimum climb gradients, which we won't have an issue with in this aircraft. Initial climb clearance is flight level 70, which we've got, and that is set in our FCU, which you can see just here at the top of the screen. And we've got no other restrictions on this departure here to worry about. So that is that, all ready to go. Any other notes for departure? I don't think we need to cover anything else really. Yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to rock. Okie dokie, so let's get this back over to ARC. And we'll give it about a 20-mile radius. Cool. Alright, we'll get the pushback tug connected then, so...
Cockpit to ground.
We'll let him know.
Stand by.
Rick, Jel, Andy, thank you very much for liking the stream over on Facebook. Much appreciated. Axon as well. Thank you very much for the follow over on Twitch. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. So let's see in the chat. So what's the difference between transition level and transition altitude? There you go. Paul's pretty much explained it there. Yeah, transition level is on the way out. Transition altitude is on the way out. Transition level is coming on the way in. So transition altitude essentially is the altitude at which you change from local QNH to standard, and also the altitude at which you would change from an altitude, say 6,000 feet, to a flight level, which would be flight level 70.
Standing by for pushback.
Perfect. Okay. Alright, we've got nose wheel steering disconnect as the tug's connecting now. Great stuff. We've got another company message. I'm not sure what that actually is. I don't think I did anything else, did I?
Final 3226, established ILS22 left.
Alright, it was this Meta. I got that earlier, but we don't need that anymore because we've got a more accurate ATIS now.
22 left, clear to land, Ryanair 3226.
Okay, we're actually right on time here. I scheduled an off-blocks time of quarter past 6 Zulu time, which is in 3 minutes, so we best get underway. Alright, let's get the ATC turned up. Okay. Copenhagen Tower, Faroeline 9012, stand Charlie 29, ready for push start.
Faroeline 9012, push and start approved to face south, QNH 974.
Pushback approved, face south, Faroeline 9012. Okay, cool. So we've got our pushback approval. Let's go ahead.
Good evening, Scandinavian 300 from Delta 4 with extra on board.
Carry on with the pushback.
To Luxembourg.
Skyline 3 Hotel Uniform Castle Tower, good evening. Information X-ray.
Alright, let's release the parking brake.
You're cleared to Luxembourg via the Level 1 Charlie departure runway 221.
You know what, I've forgotten.
Score 5237.
Please set parking brakes.
Let's set the parking brake. We need to start the APU first. God damn it, I knew there was something that I forgot.
Can you give us the...
So you're supposed to allow the APU to actually warm up for 3 minutes before turning on the APU bleed, but we're going to actually, we're going to be breaking that here, so we'll just hang on a second.
Castle Tower, scanning material delivery clear to Luxembourg with a Lango 1 Charlie departure, flight plan route, departure runway 22, right.
Okay, so before start checklist, above the line, cockpit prep is complete, gear pins and covers are removed, signs are on and auto, ADIRs are in nav, fuel quantity is 6.8 tons, takeoff data is set, bar ref is 983 set, and we'll wait for the APU to start before we do below the line. Okay, APU is available. Now, like I say, normally you'd hit the chrono and wait for 3 minutes before turning on the APU blade, but we're going to do it straight away in this instance. We're going to turn the beacon light on. We'll turn off the external power as we're now on APU. So before start checklist, below the line, windows and doors are closed, beacon light is on, thrust levers are idle, parking brake is set, and that is a before start checklist complete. Let's go.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake release.
Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engine. You will start in the sequence.
Okay, we're going to start engine 2 and then 1.
AC-188, please send me your flight plan.
Okay, let's go for the second engine start. So, started to ignition and
taxi to San Foxtrot 4 via Bravo
and
Romeo, course runway 30.
Foxtrot 4 via Bravo and Romeo, Ryanair 326, cross runway 12, thank you.
It's a bit wet. There we go, we've got N1 rotations. Dave, good evening, sir. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
EC-188, I have your flight plan ready to call.
Go ahead, EC-188.
Alright, we'll go for a little bit of a left turn. No, a right turn.
The next one, Charlie departure 2 July. Score 4631.
Okay, click to Geneva, next one, Charlie departure, and to the right, and score 4631, EC-188.
And we'll stop there. SAS there, that's a VATSIM user. Love to see it. Parking brake set. Stop pushback there. We've got a veil on engine 2. Let's go for engine 1 start.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft. Ground. You may disconnect. Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed.
We've got the safety announcement going on in the cabin at the moment.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Look at this rainy weather. Okay, so it did say to squawk mode Charlie when push back, so let's do that now. We'll leave our TCAS off for now. We can lock the cockpit doors. I'm going to put this little light on there. Okay, so engine 1 is fail. That's great. Let's go for the after start checklist. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get the engine anti-ice on as well. Go ahead and turn the APU bleed off and the APU master. That's all good. We'll just do a quick check here. Everything's looking good, all in the green and looking perfect. Okay, so after start checklist, anti-ice is on. Engine anti-ice only. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is set and rudder trim is 0. After start checklist complete, let's do a quick flight controls check. So full left, first of all, on the ailerons. Full right and neutral, full up, full down and neutral, full left on the rudder, full right and neutral. Okay, flight controls check complete.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Mike, request taxi.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Mike, taxi holding point Alpha 1, runway 2 right, by Quebec, Foxtrot and Alpha cross runway 1 2.
Taxi to holding point Alpha 1 via Quebec, Foxtrot.
Wow, they're loud.
And cross runway 12, Lufthansa 5 Papa Mike.
What's that about? That's so loud. I can't do that, I'm sorry. Faroeline 9012, request taxi.
Faroeline 9012, taxi holding point Echo 1, runway 2 right, via Romeo and Bravo, cross runway 30.
Taxi holding point Echo 1 via Romeo and Bravo, cross runway 30, Faroeline 9012. Alright, cool. That's exactly the taxi instruction we were expecting, so that's great. We're going to turn auto brake max on and we'll release the parking brake so we can start rolling here. We'll go to flaps 1.
Custom 2 hours, Scandinavian 3 uniform, push and start.
Scandinavian 3 uniform, push and start approved, QNH 9074.
Push and start approved for Scandinavian 3 uniform.
Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Taxiing in this sim when it's wet, it always seems to require a bit more thrust than normal. I think we're getting some like doubling up of music here. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Okay, so we're taxiing as expected. We're basically going to go straight forwards here. Straight forwards, straight across onto Bravo, straight across the runway, still on Bravo, and then Echo 1 right here. That's basically where we're going. As expected. Let's see if I can actually pull that off, though. Visibility's not that great, as you can see. Signs seem to be, even for a payware airport, the signs seem to be a little bit sparse, but we can see there that's Bravo, so we know we're going the right way. Let's go ahead and turn the predictive wind shear on now and the weather radar as we're clear of the stands. Put terrain on the right hand side, not that it works. Okay, I really wish these wipers worked, to be quite honest. So, Bravo is going straight down here. Classic sim update 7 weather. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Although having said that, I haven't had many rainy flights so far. Yep, so on the right way here, straight down here.
119 at decimal 8. Doing 212 base 14 knots, runway 25, clear for takeoff, have a safe flight, bye-bye.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 22 right, and after departure contact approach.
It'd be useful if I put on my taxi lights, wouldn't it? That might help me see a bit better. We'll get the landing lights extended now as well. We'll turn on our strobe lights as well. Oops. We'll turn on our strobe lights as well now as we're about to cross the an active. Well, we're about to cross a runway.
Okay, taxi 20 point Echo 1 to the right by Whiskey Romeo Bravo cross.
Clear both sides. Alright, let's bring the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Takeoff config test. Put the strobes back into auto.
Got some trial scanner entry with the later forward past taxi.
Then we can expect a right turn just a little bit further down here onto Echo 1.
Alpha 1 runway 2 to right.
Another aircraft over there lining up.
And Alpha, cross runway 12.
Thanks into all the point Alpha 1, runway 2 to right, via Sierra, Yankee, Foxtrot Alpha, cross runway 12, scanning right.
I believe this is Echo 1 here, let's just slow down a bit.
Faroeline 9012, line up runway 2 to right and wait.
Line up 22 right and wait for Faroeline 9012. Okay, so down here is Echo 1. Taxi line's very difficult to see there. Okay, so before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked, flight instruments are checked, briefing is confirmed, flap setting is 1 plus F, V speeds are 3435 and 39. Transponder is set, we'll get our TCAS on now as well. ECAM ammo is takeoff no blue, takeoff runway is 22 right, cabin crew advised, TCAS is TRA. Engine mode selector is normal and packs are on before takeoff checklist completes. Okay, so active runway, let's get the strobe lights on. Oh, it's moist. It's moist. So an aircraft just took off, so we're probably going to expect to wait here for just a second here. Parking brake set. Okay, we're looking good. It's very, very dark in the cockpit here. Let's turn the dome light up a bit.
Faroeline 9012 after departure, contact approach, frequency 119 on decimal 8.
Get the wing light on as well.
0 degrees 14 knots, runway 2 twice, you're clear for takeoff, have a safe flight, bye-bye.
Clear for takeoff, 22 right, Faroeline 9012, thank you. Alright, we're clear for takeoff, landing lights can come on, nose light can go to takeoff.
EC 188 behind.
We'll do one of those little ding bongs.
A320 line up runway 2 to right and wait behind.
Okay, stick is half forward, go to 50% on the thrust.
Line up runway to the right behind.
Stable, release the parking brake. And up to flex. Man flex 55 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust is set. $100. V1 rotates. Positive right gear up. Screens have all of a sudden gone very, very dark. Okay, leave a climb. Speed is increasing. Ooh, baby.
About this calling are repeatable, please state your microphone.
Alright, so just following the flight directives for now.
After departure, contact the port frequency 119.8. The winds are 210 degrees, 14 knots, 2 jet lift 0, have a safe flight line.
Can I take off to the right after departure, approach the 109.8, EC 18, thank you.
Okay, S-speed, speed check, flap 0. Okay, AP1, let's go AP2 actually, there we go. Okay, fantastic, so we need to contact departure, thank you very much Winter Splash. Alright, so 119.8. Okay, speeding up to 250 knots here, still climbing, that's fine. Gas route departure, Faroeline 9012 at 3,800, climbing flight level 70. Oh, I put the wrong frequency in, it's 119.8. Okay. Gas route departure, good evening, Faroeline 9012, climbing flight level, climbing through 4,800 for flight level 70, CIMEG 8 Charlie.
Faroeline 9012, Copenhagen approach, good evening, identify, climb flight level 190, direct CIMEG.
Climb flight level 190, direct CIMEG, Faroeline 9012, thank you. Okay, so passing our transition altitude, so we'll go to standard pressure, climbing to flight level 190 here, we've got flush climb, nav, alt is blue, 190 blue. Let's go direct.
On the 123.225.
Direct to CIMEG. And check. Let's go.
225, December 5, Papa Mike. Thank you for your service. You're welcome. Scandinavian 2658, descent 3,000 feet. Descent 3,000, Scanner 2658. Runway 313, descent 4,000 feet, Canadian 9074.
Descending to 4,000 feet, QNH 9074, runway 313.
Okay, great stuff. So we're climbing out now, passing 9,000, about to hit 10,000. Let's go ahead and turn our landing lights off.
Faroeline 9012, direct Tabat, flight level 250. Tabat, Tango Alpha Bravo Alpha Tango.
Direct Tabat, say again, flight level for Faroeline 9012.
Flight level 250.
Flight level 250, Faroeline 9012. Okay, so we've got another direct.
Scandinavian 2658 in speed restriction.
Yes, speed restriction.
Tabat, holy crap, that is a long ass direct there.
Free speed 220 knots or less.
Speed 220 knots or less.
We can't actually see it on there. Let's go Tabat, direct.
9012.
Flight level 250 blue. Accelerating now to 290 knots. Keep the seatbelt signs on for now, as we've got a few little sharp turns to make here as the ATC sort of decides where they're going to send us.
Easy 188, Copenhagen approach, good evening, identified climb flight level 190.
Look at the state of this, wow, holy.
Faroeline 9012, climb flight level 280, confirm inbound Tabat.
Climb flight level 280, yes we are, direct Tabat, Faroeline 9012.
It's going to be on 2658, turn left heading 320, descend 2,000 feet.
Okay, so we've got 280 blue, and direct Tabat.
Descending to 3,000 feet, runway 313.
Love to see it, guys. Love to see it. This is just
Custom approach, Scandinavian
stunning.
1754.
Stunning.
With your flight level 130 inbound.
Love it. I love it. It's great.
Last station calling, say call sign again.
Okay, so we've got a massive direct there. As you can see, I've got a direct of over 240 miles there, but nearly probably about 300 miles.
It's going to be 1
that direct.
354, stand by shortly.
289 in fact.
It was Scandinavian 1754.
This intercept it's flying though is quite interesting.
Brake Scandinavian 2658, turn left heading 200, cleared out, let's approach runway 22 left.
Left 200, cleared out, left 22 left, Scandinavian 2658.
Alright, great stuff. We're climbing out now and it's looking good. It's looking good. Let me, you guys will have to let me know what the volume is like for the ATC for you guys.
Command 3 Hotel Uniform, Copenhagen approach, good evening, identified, climb flight level 190.
So our cruising altitude today is 380, so we can expect some further clearances.
9012, contact Bremen, radar 132.225, bye-bye.
132.225, Faroeline 9012. 132.225.
Copenhagen approach, squawk 0422.
123.225, not 132.225. That's why I can't hear anything.
Reflection, runway 313.
Contact Munich 132.55, the whole bye-bye.
Munich 132.550, 8803.
Roman radar, very good afternoon. Faroeline 9012, passing flight level 193 for 280 inbound Tabat.
Faroeline 9012, Bremen radar, hello, identified, climb flight level 380.
Climb 380, Faroeline 9012. Alright, great stuff. So straight up to our cruising flight level there. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let's get the seatbelt signs off now as we're on a straight line course. We'll get the engine anti-ice off as well. We'll have a quick peek out at the old at the wingtip. Can't see any ice out there. Everything's looking good.
1254, exit on route 6,
Alright. Very good departure. Very good indeed. Very happy with that, I think. Alright, let's catch up with the chat then, guys. Just finished Warsaw to Tallinn. Very nice indeed. Master lack of scenery. Fair play, fair play. Yeah, for the contact departure, yeah, you're supposed to contact departure if you remember on the charts just after 1,000 feet, which at which point we were just sort of going in to leave a climb, etc. So yeah, maybe a little bit late there, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, the controllers understand that it's just one person flying the aircraft, so it's not a big deal.
Over to Copenhagen 18.8, aggression 19.8 for no ring, 83 Bravo.
Hey Manical, welcome to the chat, dude. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, good to see you. Do I plan the circling? I'm not sure yet. Oh, I didn't start the chrono. God damn it. Well, not the chrono. I didn't start this elapsed time clock here, so yeah, it's supposed to do that just when I push back, but there's always something, isn't there? Alright, we are looking good. Climbing up to our cruising level here, and everything is looking pretty fine, to be quite honest. Let's come over here. Let's see what this can tell us about ATC. Not that much. Just shows us what's in range. That's fine. Okay.
First time viewer, nice departure.
Hey, Christian, thank you very much, dude, for the 200 stars. Very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. Very, very kind. And yeah, Thank you so much. Facebook is still doubling the stars, I believe. So, yeah, thank you very much. That's actually 400 stars there you've just given me. So I really appreciate that. And thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the departure. The arrival should be even more interesting, let's say. Let's see. Let's see. So yeah, Manacle, not planned for the circling, but we'll see what the controllers give us when we get there, because we've got VATSIM on today, so it depends on the traffic, I suppose, what we can do. Adam, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing good. Asa says I'm behind, but I can't see you. Yeah, so I've only got... look at this. So today, Asa, I've not got... I haven't got multiplayer on. It's just... just on VATSIM today, mate. So... So yeah, if you're on multiplayer, you won't see me. I kind of turned multiplayer off after the last stream, and live traffic as well, because it was just I feel like it was contributing to just having a poor FPS, and I'm not about that life. So yeah, you would need to be on VATSIM to actually see my playing today. Ah, DC, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. I don't know if I've actually updated my plugins one recently. I think I have actually. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I think the plugins one should be updated for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't think I've updated the scenery command though for today, unfortunately. So just bear that in mind. But it is in the description anyway what scenery we're using. Alright, so we haven't done our climb checklist, so let's do that now. Landing gear is up, flaps are retracted, packs are on, bow ref is set to standard after takeoff. Checklist complete. Okie dokie. Great stuff. Looking forward to the day when they can get these to auto-tune. That'll be super nice. Super nice. Go Bears Sunshine, welcome to the chat on Twitch. Don't think I've seen you before. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okie dokie. So we're just going to climb out here to our final cruising level, and we've got such an insane direct here. Let's have a look at that on the on Navigraph. Alright guys, so let's see. Tabat.
120.275, distance 65 whiskey, bye-bye.
Tabat is here. Can I just highlight that waypoint, please? There we go. Tabat is just there. So if we zoom out, we just basically got our whole departure, and this whole portion of our route is just cut off. We're now basically just flying in a straight line from Copenhagen straight to Tabat. Good. Brilliant. Love to see it. Can I say something again? That's great. So, you guys may or may not be aware for the reason for that. Now, I might be slightly wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right about it. But basically, the reason why he gave me such a long direct there, and I mean I have had it before, it's something that they do when they can, but I think in Europe what they're trying to do with the airspace is they're trying to make, I can't remember the name for it, it's something like free airspace or something like that, and they're basically trying to do directs between fixes more often now, so maybe that played into that decision there, maybe, but yeah, so that's basically it. They're just trying to in the real world as well. They're trying to make, you know, airspace so that there's less travelling on airways and things like that, and just going direct between fixes or giving directs, because at the end of the day, you know, it's less distance travelled, so therefore it's better for the environment. You know, less fuel used. It's better for everybody really. So that's something that's currently taking place in European airspace, and VATSIM are trying to simulate that as well. Frostbite, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love the quality of your stream. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. Just curious on how much frames I'm getting and what settings I'm on. So I'm on mostly ultra settings. Hang on 1 second. I don't think that was for me. It wasn't for me. Let me just check how close I am near the boundary here. Okay, so we've got a little ways to go until we pass to the next controller. You can see these green lines here marking the edge of the flight. Oh, this is actually a UIR. Regardless, anyway, this green line is basically our boundary for Rhine radar here, which is the frequency that we're on. I can't actually remember. I did look up what UIR stands for. I can't remember what it stands for. FIR is obviously flight information region. But UIR, maybe someone in the chat could tell me. I forget these things. There's so many acronyms. But anyway, to answer your question, how many frames am I getting? That is a good question. Maybe I can bring that up for you now.
I don't like the idea because you're nearly descending in 2 to 3 minutes. So are you okay? Are you okay with that?
Let's just bring it up. There we go. So if I move this down here, there you go. You can see the frames in the top left. About 35. Obviously, while I'm streaming, usually when I'm playing without the stream on, it is a bit higher, probably about 10 FPS higher than that. But yeah, I mean, it's not. I think since this recent update, the frames per second is just decreased on average, I think, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm on mostly ultra settings, and the LOD sliders, they're on 150, so they're not all the way cranked up, but yeah, if I crank those up, it just sort of brings my system to its knees, especially while streaming. So that's that. Hopefully that answers your question. Obviously the A32NX is quite heavy on the frames as well, isn't it? So so yeah. And Frostbite, thank you very much for the sub on YouTube. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. And yeah, thank you very much, dude. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm using a really cool plugin for OBS, which gives some really, really nice transitions. And yeah, it takes a bit of doing to get it working properly, but yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm particularly happy. I particularly enjoy this when I bring up my fuzz pad right here. Well, obviously you guys don't want to see that right now. Let's see. I think the direct will be to the edge of its airspace. Well, no, it's not actually. It's quite a bit further than that. So Tabat is way down here. I think it was that one right there. That's Rudno. Is this Tabat? Tabat is there. So yeah, we're currently right here within the Rhine UIR. And yeah, Tabat is like halfway in the next region, which is almost impossible to see what region that actually is. I mean, it's still German airspace, I suppose. Is it Langen radar at this point? I can't actually see where it says. It doesn't say anywhere along this green line. Usually it does. Maybe we just right click Maybe we just do a right click instead. Oh, right click doesn't work. Okay, what is going on? This this Navigraph pop-up thing is still not entirely bug-free, I guess. No, it's not letting me right click there. I'll do it on the other Navigraph.
FedEx 347, contact Praha 127, decimal 125, bye-bye.
Praha 127, decimal 125, FedEx 347, danke für schönen Abend noch, bitte.
50. Quality 220, decent flight level 70.
Okay, yeah, so it is actually still Rhine radar that we're going to be on, even when we pass over that border there. I guess it's just split up into different regions, so that's it.
118, Copenhagen 118, Bremen, better runway identified.
Fantastic. Look at how the camera just rotates on its own. Dear oh dear. Let's get a nice camera set up here. There we go. All right, chat. How are we doing? How are we doing? Let's see how we're doing in here before we get too comfortable. Mac, Altstar. Alt cruise. 380, level off. Great stuff. Okay, so we're leveled off at cruising altitude now. Love to see it. Okay, let's do a quick look through here on the lower ECAM. Make sure everything's all good and fine, which we know it is going to be, but let's just have a browse through anyway. What's the point in flying a sim if you're never going to look at this stuff? (24 degrees). It's feeling quite toasty. Let's turn the temperatures down a touch. That should do it. Slides are armed. Everything looking good there. Nice and cool brakes. Flight controls are all fine. Status page is good. Cabin altitude 7650. And we're looking good. Great stuff. We've got landing elevation auto at 1900 feet. Okay, so let's get our next frequency in. We're probably going to get past to, probably not for a super long time yet, but let's just check. Okay, so the lower portion of Bremen, this is actually Bremen radar that we're on with now. It's different on VATSIM 2 on the charts, but anyway, yeah. So the next sort of sector covered under this, well, yeah, our next sort of center controller is, they're not actually online, so we're just gonna have a little gap of ATC, and then we'll go to München radar, which is 132550. So we'll get that in. So that's in, and that's all we really need to worry about for now. We've got a controller on at Innsbruck. We've got an approach controller on, which is fantastic, and then obviously we've got VN radar on as well for the event in Austria. You can actually see here if I bring up the fuzz pad. This is our current flight. So as you can see, we've left Copenhagen. We've turned left where we got a direct, and then we turned right where we got another direct, and we're on our way out. Currently over German airspace. Bremen radar is our current controller that we're speaking to. As you can see, as you guys know, we did get a direct, so we're literally just going to be going straight line down here. Oh, it looks like this. Has this controller just come online? Oh yes, they have. Yeah, fantastic. So 1336 for that one. So I'll set that. So we're going to have full ATC coverage all the way, guys. Let's go. Then we're going to come down, carrying on through München radar, and then down into towards Innsbruck. We're going to actually swing out to the right a little bit here. And then Innsbruck, we've got Innsbruck approach on, as you can see, and I can't get rid of this pop-up. What's going on? And it looks pretty quiet going into Innsbruck, so we might get free reign of what approaches. Hang on, is it just, are the planes just not? Okay, that's because I've got me selected. There we go. Yeah, so looking at Innsbruck, yeah, actually quite a few planes around Innsbruck. Yeah, a couple of inbound flights at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway. We'll see what we get assigned. Thankfully we've got, you know, controllers on all the way, so we'll get advised once we get a bit closer. So that's looking good. Great stuff, great stuff. All right. Since I was ranting about the CRJ hood a week or two ago, it's probably collimated now, which is great. No way, Nephilius, that's amazing, dude. I actually didn't know that. Because they've not updated the CRJ, have they? So I guess they built in the tech that they needed, ready for Sim Update 7, which is quite cool. But yeah, they've got that in the sim now. Obviously the F-18 has it, the 787 has it as well, so very cool. Yeah, I still I'm still not that keen on hoods, but nevertheless. Yo, the man himself, Dark Zero, in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, long time no see. It's been a very long time. How are you enjoying Vanguard? They pushed an update yesterday. Ah, I see. Very good, very good. I will have to make sure I'm updated on that then. And they broke the marketplace version. Of course they did. Of course they did. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I suppose, you know, with Aerosoft products, as much as they're fantastic and they really do a good job in so many areas, you know, they've always said for a very long time that the kind of add-ons that they make are very much, you know, they're not study level, are they? So, you know, they only encompass sort of day-to-day pilots sort of stuff that they would use, which is, you know, it's a good compromise, I think. But having said that, that may mean that certain features like the hood, for example, it may not be perfect. But then again, you know, it might also be a Microsoft Flight Simulator limitation. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. You know, as we all know, it's still a developing platform, so who knows? Alright, let's have a look then and see how far we've got to go. So we've got 361 miles. Our ETA is 1350 UTC. Obviously that's wrong because of the daylight, the setting that we've got here in the sim. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to match up the minutes with the real world minutes, just so it kind of makes a bit more sense. So we've got 18:58. Oh, we're actually already matched up on the minutes, so that's fine. So we've got about 50 minutes left in flight here. So that's good. What we'll do then is we'll do a approach briefing, because it's quite a complex one here into Innsbruck. So we'll make sure everything is set up properly. We'll bring up the plan view here, and we'll come down to our arrival, which is just here after Tulsa, or Tulsi, should I say. Okay, so let's bring up the charts. Okay. There we go. So, going down here to our arrival, we've got the Tulsi 3 Alpha arrival is what we're expecting. It's very simple arrival from Tulsi down to Rattenberg. Minimum altitude is 9,500 feet on the arrival. Obviously you can see the MSA is 11,600 over Austrian territory. And then it doesn't actually say the MSA for this sector, which is interesting.
Lufthansa 4X-ray Alpha and ready, descent to reach flight level 350 at Zotro.
Yeah, not sure on that one.
Flight level 350 at Zotro, Lufthansa 4X-ray Alpha.
I get, it's 10,300, isn't it? Yeah, it's 10,300 for this sector right here. Anyway, yeah, coming in from Tulsi to Rattenberg, it's quite simple and straightforward. We've got a hold here at Rattenberg. We may have to use that, and if we do have to use that, obviously we can't do holds automatically in the A32NX. So we're going to have to do a manual hold, which you can actually do quite easily in the A32NX thanks to the track FPA mode. We can actually use that to do a holding. So if we're required to hold, we'll be coming in and we'll have to do a... what kind of entry will we have to do here? I guess this is probably a direct entry, right? So you come in and then immediately turn right, I think. You want to go like that. I'm just picturing the different entry patterns in my head here. So you could do a parallel entry, which is going to go like that, which is probably not ideal either. And then you would do, you could do a teardrop entry, which is like that. I think probably a parallel or a direct entry. I'll have to double check it, but one of those two. Nevertheless, if we have to do the holding, we the outbound leg is at 045, so we'll use track FPA. We'll turn right to 045 track. We'll start the timer once the wings are level for 1 minute, and then obviously a right turn to the reciprocal course, which in this case is going to be 225 degrees, and that's obviously a 1 minute leg back inbound, and obviously we'll do that if we need to. Probably won't have to, but I'm just briefing myself on that because obviously you know, there's not a lot of airspace over Innsbruck, so there is a possibility that we might have to hold, so I'll just sort of bear that in mind. Okay, cool. AU pilot says it looks like a direct entry to me. Fantastic, great stuff. So yeah, I thought it might be. In fact, yeah, it definitely is a direct entry, isn't it? Because that
I realized you made the AIG model matching video.
That is the widest
and I followed
sort of
through with
angle.
Your tutorial. You definitely helped me get better looking models in VATSIM since my old models were in potato quality. Thanks again, cheers.
Yo, Frostbite, thank you so much, dude, for the £376 tip. Much appreciated, dude. That's very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. I'm glad the AIG video helped you. I've had a lot of good feedback on that video, so thank you very much for that. And you know, I'm still flattered to this day that it's helped so many people. I did not expect that at all, and that video was just done incredibly well. And I think, you know, quite a few people here in the chat are probably here due to that. So you know, thank you for that feedback, and thank you for the big support there with the £3.76. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Absolute legend. Okay, so that's the holding covered, and then from Rattenberg we are going to come on to our final approach. So I've actually brought up the chart here for the localizer right runway 26. Now I'm not sure if the R actually stands for right, but localizer R runway 26 then, and that brings us from Rattenberg. And I got the inbound course incorrect, didn't I? It's actually 22. Did I say 225? I did, didn't I? Actually, yeah, I got it right. Okay. I was just double checking my quick maths there, because when I was looking on here, obviously it doesn't say the inbound course. I was just, yeah, checking my quick maths there. Alright, so inbound course 225. Fine. Anyway, from Rattenberg we take a track of 207. This should be in the FMGC here, so we'll just scroll down and make sure that that's all in. So from Rattenberg to... just going to turn the ATC up just in case they contact me. We'll zoom it in a little bit. You can see you've got Rattenberg to Adwig, and then FF26, which is this one. So that's in. The approach is incorrectly. So we'll fly from Rattenberg 9,500 feet. Level flight to Adwig, which is required. Obviously, well, not obviously, but at Rattenberg we also do need to ensure that the OEV localizer is identified. So we'll need to make sure of that. The localizer itself is 3 degrees offset, and we're going to come in to Adwig and then descend on down the localizer. It's a 3.77 descent angle, 3.77 degrees, so steeper than normal. And what we're going to do, because of the sort of tight margins that this approach is sort of dealing with, we are going to get fully configured before we start down on the localizer. So between Rattenberg and the final approach fix, we have 7 miles. I can read 7 miles, and that's probably not long enough for us to get fully configured, so we'll probably, we shall see what the ATC say coming in anyway, and we'll probably aim to get configured, start getting configured about 3 miles before Rattenberg, assuming we're not holding. So that's that, and then we'll continue on down the localizer. The frequency is 111.1 and the inbound course is 254 degrees. The minimums are quite high here at Innsbruck for obvious reasons, but we're going to use the lowest minimums here because obviously the A320neo can meet the 5% climb gradient required if we need to go around. So we've got 2250 on the MDA. That's going to be our minimum, so we'll make sure that's actually in here whilst we are going through the charts here. So 2250 is going to be our minimums for this approach. Now, might not necessarily get this approach, but we're going to plan for that for now. So that's in. Our transition altitude is going to be it is by ATC, I believe, but yeah, transition level by ATC, but I believe the standard is 11,000, so we'll check the ATIS in a moment and just see what that's saying. The airport elevation is 1,907 feet, runway elevation 1,894 feet. And I think that is about it for this chart. Our missed approach is to climb to 11,500. Now, I've just realised this is the wrong chart because that's not the missed approach we want to use. So I'm gonna leave that pinned, but let me just bring this back up here. Okay, so this is the actual approach we want to fly. However, I don't believe you can actually put this in on the MCDU. So as you can see, it is the same approach more or less. It's just the missed approach is slightly different. So the minimums on this one are different as well. It's got 3,300, so we're going to put that in. The reason why I don't want to do the other chart is oh, why is it not letting me scroll? Oh, that's weird. There we go. Okay, so the reason I don't want to do this one is because the go around is an RNAV routing. Now the fly-by-wire, it can do go-arounds, but it can't follow any waypoints on the go-around. So we can't do that. However, we can do this one. This one is doable. The missed approach is basically climb on the localizer course, which is 254 with max gradient to 1 mile OEV. Obviously 1 mile OEV is actually slightly before the airport here, so we are going to have to make a decision, obviously before our decision altitude, which is at 3,300 feet. So based on this profile, we can expect to get there just about here, as you can see on the chart. Which I believe corresponds to this point here, 3.5 miles. There you go. 3.5 OEV missed approach point for climb gradient minimum 5%. So, like I said, 1 mile OEV, we're going to take a left turn inbound Rum, which is on a 060 heading towards Rum, and then we're going to rejoin the localizer and fly the back course until 14 miles OEV, and then we're going to break off and then go direct to Rattenberg. Excuse me. On turn left to Rattenberg NDB and hold at 9,500 feet. So slightly different, but it should be doable in the A32NX that, because we're just using ground-based nav aids, not RNAV, so that should be fine, and we should be able to manage that, I think. Obviously this is all at max gradient. As you can see, it says max gradient multiple times here in the instructions, so if we do go around, what we're going to do is we're not going to do a soft go around, we'll do a full power go around. So we'll go to Toga, detent. Obviously we'll rotate to the flight directives, which will give us our current approach speed, which is going to be, as you can see, 138 knots. So it's going to get us to rotate at that speed, for that speed, sorry, at Toga power. And obviously we've got to bear in mind here, this turn is very tight, so we're going to need to put in, we'll just go for 25 degrees of bank. That's going to turn it in probably a little bit tighter than this line, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So we'll go to Toga, and then I think what we'll probably do is we'll actually come in here and we'll set up our thrust reduction altitude to be a bit higher than normal. I think so. The airport elevation is 1907. So I'm going to set this to 3907 and 3907. So 2,000 feet above airport elevation.
Thanks for your premium content, Bobby.
I'll stick that in, and then engine out. We're not going to have any issues with the engines, hopefully, so we won't worry about that. We'll just put it in as the same, so that's fine. Alright, so that's the arrival briefing more or less done. The taxiing is pretty straightforward at Innsbruck. We're coming in. We'll probably, like I say, we are planning for runway 26. So we'll probably just come off on Alpha and taxi down. But if we do 08 for whatever reason, we'll come in on Bravo. There's only 2 taxiways, so it's pretty simple. So, speaking of runways, we'll go ahead and get an ATIS for Innsbruck. So ATIS arrival, and then we're going to put in Lowy. Send. Alright, let's just see what's going on in the chats. Does it turn in the direction you turn, or do you need to do it incrementally on the heading knob? I'm not sure actually, Paul. I'm not sure. I've not tested that one, to be honest with you. Not tested that one, but yeah, I'm not actually sure. Not actually sure. You did it, Frostbite. Fantastic, dude. I'm glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. Alright, we're probably going to get passed over to another controller here momentarily. I'm actually surprised we haven't already, but we should get passed over to another controller. 133.6 for Faroeline 9012. Thank you. Bye bye. Guys, speak of the devil. Literally, as I said it. Holy. München radar, guten Abend, Faroeline 9012, flight level 380, inbound Tabat.
Faroeline 9012 with radar, good evening, identified for the direct Akosi. Airbus A320neo, flight level 350.
Direct Akosi, Faroeline 9012.
Airbus A320neo with radar, good evening, identified flight level 342, climb flight level 350.
Another direct? Yeah, I think I spoke over someone then, but almost. I think someone actually just didn't give me a chance to speak, but we got there. Alright, cool, so another direct.
Negative, stay at 340.
Let's see.
I have another aircraft without contact, 340, maintain.
Bernard, thank you very much for the sub on YouTube, much appreciated. And hey Manacle, thank you very much, dude, for the £3 tip as well. Thank you so much, that's very generous of you, dude. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much.
Good evening, identified flight level 350. By the way, good evening,
I guess you'll find out if you get put in the hold. Yeah, I suppose we might do, yeah, but I tell you what I'm going to do, Paul, is I'm not even going to take that chance. I'm just going to I'm just going to do it incrementally just because I know that works. I'm not going to be messing about while I'm being asked to hold. But certainly I'll test it in between, and I'll let you know. Okay, so we got another direct, so down to 230 miles remaining. Should have 3 tons on board as we land at Innsbruck, which is nice. 1.7 at Munich, which is kind of low, but we're looking good, I think. We're looking good. Alright, so we should have received our ATIS now, so let's go and get the ATIS. There we go. Let's grab it. Okay, so let's go to our perf page and let's stick some of this information in. So we've got information Papa. Transition level is not determined. Interesting. Interesting. I've not seen that one before. Wind variable at 6 knots, so we could get either runway really. More than 10 kilometers visibility. A few clouds at 7,000 feet. So we've got a few clouds poking in the valley there, but shouldn't pose a massive risk to us. Scattered at 11,000, temperature is 8 degrees, so we'll need anti-ice on the descent. And the QNH is 1,000. Information Papa.
Lufthansa 472, descent flight level 270.
Now, I don't know how you put in variable winds. Can you just put it in, can you put it in like this? I don't know if you can. No, you can't. So I guess we just put 0/6. I don't know that. I don't know if there's a way you can actually put in variable there. Transition altitude. We'll probably get advised, I guess, when we get a bit closer, because it does say not determined, so I'll leave that as it is for now. Alright. Cool. Alright, let's just do a quick calculation for our top of descent. We've got about 36,000 feet to descend. And let's see. We're going to need 118 miles to descend, so we've got a bit of time yet before we can expect any more descent, any descent clearance at all. Right, so I just wanted to sort of get it right in my head how we're going to set up the approach for when we arrive, because obviously we'll just need to set up a few things that you probably wouldn't do in real life because of the sim limitations, just in case we have to do a go around. So one thing I said to myself after, you guys may remember the stream that we had the other day in the A32NX, where we did the Wizz Air flight from Memmingen to Lviv. So I said to myself after that from now on we're not going to have any dodgy, unstabilized approaches where we're zigzagging down the runway and all that crap. So yeah, I've said to myself we're going to try and basically just do more go-arounds essentially, or we're going to be more strict with ourselves in terms of doing go-arounds, if you know what I mean. I think, you know, I sometimes get in the mentality, because, you know, we're in a flight sim, there's no actual real danger, that you know, I just fucking get it in always, every time. But I think, you know, going forwards, I'm going to try and be a bit more strict with myself and try and, you know, meet the stabilized criteria, and you know, just be a bit more liberal, a little bit more liberal with my go-arounds, basically. I don't know if that
Lufthansa 472, contact München, radar 132.
I don't know if that transmission was for me.
132, decibel 550.
May have been.
Faroeline 9012, München radar, do you read?
I do copy, yeah. Sorry if I missed you, Faroeline 9012.
Descent flight level 310, level at Akosi.
Descent 310, level Akosi, Faroeline 9012. Sorry about that. Okay, so we've got our first descent clearance.
229er, contact Braha 120.275. Bye bye.
Wants us to go to 310 and level by Akosi, so that is 7,000 feet. We're probably not going to make that, let's be honest. But let's go to thrust idle, open descent, alt blue, flight level 310 blue. So we've got 7,000, 714, 21. Realistically, we need about 21 miles to do that. I'm not sure why he gave us that clearance, to be honest. That's a bit yeah, a bit of a reach. Nevertheless, let's get the speed brakes in and see if we can get as close as possible. Because we did miss him on the radar there, so radio, so that's kind of our fault. So we'll get the speed brakes in, and I'm actually going to just wind the speed up a little bit. So hold on, guys. Hold on. ATC is getting annoyed with me. I don't think they're getting annoyed with me.
Kilo. Stand by short.
I missed like one transmission. They really, if they're getting annoyed at me for that, that's.
Delta Foxtrot Kilo set, walk 1000.
It's a little bit of impatient of them, I think. Okay, so we're passing a cozy now. We're still a little bit high. I'm going to just keep the descent coming because he did want us to be level. So we've got quite a high descent rate at the moment, but should be fine. Okay, we've got map, alt start. Let's go back to manage speeds. We'll bring the speed brakes in.
And radar contact 4,600 feet. I faster passing 5,000.
Cleared. Direct exude, climb flight level 130, I faster passing 5,000.
I haven't missed two, Nathelius, definitely not.
Faroeline 9012, contact München radar 132.550, bye bye.
132.550, Faroeline 9012, thank you.
Delta. Oh, nee, disregard.
Alright, so we'll go to 132.550.
Bye bye.
What about 122?
Okay, I definitely got the frequency wrong again. 132.550. Okay, no, that is. Oh no. Okay, we're on the frequency. Okay, I'm just. I couldn't see it on the list there for some reason. There's so many. Look at how many frequencies are online at the moment. That's nuts.
Lufthansa 02 Alpha, are you able to follow any Airbus bar? Unable, sorry sir. Lufthansa 02 Alpha, direct Betos, descent level 150. Danke, direct Betos, descent level 10 to Lufthansa 02 Alpha. Confirm 150. 150, ganz direkt zu Betos. Tut mir leid, Lufthansa 02 Alpha. Alles gut. Good evening.
Just waiting for a second to speak here.
Lufthansa 27 Nana Foxtrot Hello München identified. Climb flight level 320.
Climb level 320.
München radar, guten Abend. Faroeline 9012, flight level 310, inbound, Rudno.
Faroeline 9012, hello München identified. Lufthansa 472, descent flight level 110. Lufthansa 472, descent
cool.
flight level 110. That's deck 017, direct Agnaf. Direct Agnaf, auf der Kilo.
But yeah, that descent would have been difficult to make in any case. Like if we were to descend at say normal sort of descent angle of 3 degrees, we would have needed 21 miles to make that descent, and we were already at, well, I mean, I think we were about 20 miles when he told us to descend. So yeah, it would have been very, very tight. Usually they don't cut it that fine with the ATC, but hey ho. Anyways, so we were trying to get the radios set up for the approach.
Maximum 5 is booked.
Alright, so we're going to get the ADF in, we're going to get in RUM ADF. And we're also going to get Rattenberg in as well. So 320 and 303, that's in. So basically what we'll just have to do is we'll just have to follow the DME and these arrows on the ND here. So if we bring up ADF, Now, we're probably out of range, so the arrows aren't showing. I hope the arrows actually work on this. I can't remember if they do. I know they work for VORs. Not sure if they work for NDBs, but we'll find out. So we'll just have to use those arrows and then the DME from the ILS to basically coordinate all the turns and things like that, which should be good. So if we go around, we'll look for the DME on the landing system. So we'll have the LS push button in. We'll look for 1 mile down here, then we'll take our left turn. We'll turn to 060 and basically follow the arrow straight in. We'll then recapture the localizer outbound on 074, and then at 14 miles we shall basically just make a turn that sends us directly towards Rattenberg VOR, at which point we'll probably have to do a parallel entry to the hold and then do 1 lap and come back in. Hopefully we don't have to go around. So I think that's how we're going to do it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not sure why he made us descend, to be honest. Seems a bit random. I guess it's probably traffic, but that's quite a big step down.
Falcon 405 is back in the cockpit.
Welcome back. Lufthansa 225, contact München radar 123.
Oh no, our passengers are unhappy. Let's get them some food. 47% satisfied. Very hungry. Okay, let's rectify that.
Contact Praha 120.275. Goodbye.
Hey Mariner, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, mate. I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for asking. Fantastic coverage on VATSIM this evening over Europe. Look how good that's looking right there. And we are inbound Innsbruck. Alright, so I haven't said this at all today, but we've got 19 people watching on YouTube, but only 14 likes on the stream. If you're enjoying the content, please do consider hitting the thumbs up button. It really does help out the stream. Alright. I'm a bit paranoid about missing more communications now, so I'm just going to try and listen a bit more. We've been doing a lot of talking so far, so I've missed that one transmission, but yeah, hopefully we don't miss any more. So this ATIS was at 1750, which was over half an hour ago, so I'm going to just see if there's another ATIS available. Ah, Bella, thank you very much for liking the stream on YouTube, and whoever else did as well. There's a couple of likes that came in there. Really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Mariner as well, thank you very much for liking the stream on Facebook, as well as Colin. Thank you very much, guys. Alright, it's still information Papa at Innsbruck.
Station calling before I blocked you out again.
This was Lufthansa 23 Echo,
Alright, let's see how many track miles we've got left. We've got 118. Obviously we are a bit lower now though. So we've got 29,000 feet to descend. Let's do a calculation again. We need 97 miles. So we're nearly ready for a further descent here.
Lufthansa 481, contact München radar 123.9 arc right. Confirm call sign, Lufthansa 481.
Easy 500, request the sun.
Easy 500, descend flight level 200.
200, easy 500. Radar, good evening, aircraft 75 with the flight level 150.
Blocked.
Alright.
Aircraft 725 with the flight level 160.
Yeah, Innsbruck, mate, it's just, it's so good, isn't it? So beautiful.
Aircraft 75 inbound.
Oh my god. These guys on the radios are just constantly blocking each other.
Blocked again. Aircraft 725, München identified, climb flight level 310.
310, aircraft 75.
Lufthansa 2 Mike, start your descent now, reach level 160 at Visum.
Using 160 at Visum, Lufthansa 2 Mike.
Lufthansa 7 Hotel Charlie, confirm your inbound 10 low.
Tango Echo November Lima uniform Lufthansa 7 from Charlie, sorry.
Negative, 10 low, Tango Echo November Lima Oscar as in
I'm surprised there's no runway in use though for Innsbruck here.
Order 10 low, supply got that Lufthansa 7 from Charlie, sorry.
Balkan 407, Balkan 15. Lima Alpha, correction Balkan 407, contact Langen 123, that's not 275, right?
123 to 75, thank you, bye bye. 407.
This frequency is so busy, it's crazy.
Foxtrot Tango, Servus München identified, descent flight level 110. Flight level 250.
Oh my god, the amount of people speaking at the moment, oh it's horrible. We could do with starting to descend any minute.
7 Papa Mike, hello München identified.
Faroeline 9012, ready for descent.
77, flight level 250.
Oh no, I blocked someone there. God damn it.
Blocked.
Oh dear, this frequency is so busy.
Radar, good evening, Echo 0050, will be descending flight level 250. Echo 005, hello München identified, descend to reach level 150 at Buran. Flight level 250 at Buran, that's correct, Echo 005. Correct, Lufthansa 7 Hotel Charlie, contact München 133.6. Lufthansa 7 Hotel Charlie 133.6.
1336 Lufthansa 7 Hotel Charlie.
Wow, I can't get a word in edgeways, man.
Easy 500, speed 310.
Down to 310, easy 500.
Faroeline 9012, ready for descent?
355, timing clear, 0 overhead and Lamuzi.
Not again.
Lufthansa 64 Alpha Charlie on the frequency.
Not again.
Lufthansa 64 Alpha Charlie, go ahead.
Lufthansa 64 Alpha Charlie, descend to reach level 150 at Buran.
Saying 15 group to be leveled at Buran, Lufthansa 64 Alpha Charlie.
Lufthansa 910 on the frequency. Affirmative, Lufthansa 910. Lufthansa 910 identified, descend flight level 110. Descending 110, Lufthansa 910.
Faroeline 9012, ready for descent.
13 for information, departing at St.
Oh, again!
Entering your sector in about 3 minutes.
I have no chance if I have 2 or 3 stations calling at the same time all the time.
Yo, München Radar, good afternoon, Wings 9087, passing level 120, climbing level 190, inbound, give me.
Germans 9087, hello, München identified, climb flight level 300.
Climbing level 300, Germans 9087.
Faroeline 9012, ready for descent.
Faroeline 9012, speed 260, descend flight level 200.
Speed 260, descend flight level 200, Faroeline 9012.
Easy 500, direct Romeo, Tango Tango, descend flight level 130.
Romeo Tango Tango 130, easy 400.
Okay, so thrust idle, open descent, alt is blue, flight level 200 blue, 260 is set. So that speed restriction there is going to actually hurt our descent quite a lot. So I'm going to get the speed brakes out to increase our rate of descent a bit. And we are high here, so we've only got 80 miles to go. We wanted to start our descent at 97 miles. We live up here now. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so we should get past to VN radar or Innsbruck approach momentarily. Probably be Innsbruck approach, I think. 126020, I imagine.
737 München identified. Snicky 629 on this frequency. Snicky 629.
Okay, cool. Making sure I keep my hand on the speed brake so I don't accidentally leave it out.
Contact München radar 123.09 goodbye.
Lufthansa 3 Tango Foxtrot Tango München 123.09 goodbye.
Luxor 81 Hotel, contact Langen 123.275 goodbye.
123.275 81 Hotel, good day.
Lufthansa 65 for Charlie, contact München radar 123.09.
123.9 for Charlie, bye bye.
There we go, we've got our ADF beacons picked up. Beautiful. That's the Rattenberg viewer NDB it's pointing to. Fantastic, those arrows work.
Climb flight level 280.
280, thanks, Lufthansa 158.
Scandinavian 118, descent flight level 110. Lufthansa 910, contact München radar 123.9. 123.9 on Lufthansa 910, bye bye. Delta Foxtrot Kilo, descent level 110, contact München radar 123.9.
I'm going to have to listen to the radios now, guys, so I probably won't be able to talk too much. I'm just going to listen to the radios and make sure I don't miss anything.
005, contact München radar 123.9, goodbye.
123.9, bye-bye.
Confirm Echo 005.
Confirm Echo 005.
Luxor 737, descent flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Luxor 737.
Balkan 40 Delta, contact Langen 123.275, goodbye. Balkan 40 Delta, 123.275, goodbye.
123.275, bye bye.
Faroeline 9012, request further descent.
Easy 500, contact Innsbruck arrival 128.975, goodbye.
128.975, Easy 500.
Faroeline 9012, descent level 130, contact München radar 134.150.
Descent flight level 130, contact München radar 134.150, Faroeline 9012.
Hunter Line 7 Papa Mike, contact München arrival 143.9, goodbye. Lufthansa 2 Mike.
Right, we've got flight level 130 blue, alt is blue. Okay. München radar, guten Abend, Faroeline 9012, descending flight level 210 to 130. Have I got the frequency wrong again?
Faroeline 9012 München radar low identified, descent flight level 130.
Descend flight level 130, Faroeline 9012. Could I ask, do you know the runway in use for Innsbruck?
Negative, Faroeline 9012, contact Innsbruck 128.975.
128.975, Faroeline 9012.
München radar, good evening, Austrian 5 Golf Mike. Sorry for the delay, but the last controller completely ignored all our calls.
It was quite busy. I'll stand 5 with Mike, you identified.
128975, so we're going to Innsbruck approach.
MK3 Romeo departure, flight level 165, climbing flight level 1.
EV 500, you are cleared for the localizer DME East approach, runway 26, report established.
He's using localizer DME East, that's what we planned for, fantastic.
EV 500 confirmed, localizer DME East approach, runway 26.
Still got the speed brakes out.
Localizer East approach, runway 26.
And which direction are you turning now, sir?
I'm going direct Adwig. My plane decided to go to Tulsi for some reason.
Roger. EV 500, turn right. I confirm, turn right heading 060.
Turn right heading 060, ET 500.
Austin 3, Bravo Alpha, Wien Radar, Service Radar contact, April straight in. Austin 3, Bravo Alpha, Dankeschön, descend 10,000 feet, QNH 1001.
Descend 10,000 feet, QNH 1001,
Austin 3, Bravo Alpha, Roger, stand by, Corbett. The 011, Wien.
I can't speak again.
Runway 26,
Ray.
for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, EV 011.
Innsbruck radar, Faroeline 9012, descending flight level 151 to 130.
Faroeline 9012, Innsbruck radar, hello radar contact, expect localizer DME East approach, descend flight level 120.
Expecting localizer DME East approach, descend flight level 120, Faroeline 9012, also request transition level.
Faroeline 9012, the transition level is flight level 120 today in your area.
Fantastic, thank you. Transition level confirmed, flight level 120. We also have Papa on board, Faroeline 9012.
Faroeline 9012, roger, reduce speed 220 due to sequencing.
Reduce speed 220, Faroeline 9012. Alright guys, here we go.
Innsbruck, good afternoon. It's Viva Air Colombia, 9 November 9 Romeo, A320 with Papa.
It's all going off now, guys. Transition level is 120, so we've been cleared down to 120, so we don't need to go to standard QNH just yet. Sorry, local QNH.
Cleared to Amsterdam, Mokti 3 hotel departure, climb initially, flight level 160, squawk 1000.
I applaud my creativity myself.
Alright, let's get the speed brakes in now.
Off 2 seats. In this climb, final 160, the magic number is 1000. Viva Air Colombia, 9 November, 9 Romeo.
Easy 011, radar contact passing 5,000 feet, climb flight level 160.
Climbing flight level 160, easy 011.
Viva Colombia 929 Romeo, readback is correct, startup is approved.
Start approved, Viva Air Colombia, 9 November, 9 Romeo.
Faroeline 9012, reduce speed 160 knots due to preceding aircraft going for the circling.
Speed 160, Faroeline 9012. Okay, speed 160, so we're going to go to flaps 1. Speed is checked, flaps 1.
Austrian 21 Bravo Sierra, good evening, A320. I don't know what stand we're at. Information Papa, requesting IFR clearance to Copenhagen, filed.
Roger, call you back. Faroeline 909, correction 9012, descend 9,500 feet, cleared localizer DME East approach, report established.
Descend 9,500, cleared, localizer DME East approach, report when established, Faroeline 9012. Okay, we're going down. Speed 160, thrust idle, open descent, flight level 095 blue. We're going to go to local altimeter now, which is 1000. If I remember correctly, it is indeed 1001 even. We're going to get speed brake in.
Stopping this in 160 direct M and confirm speed restriction is cancelled as well?
Yeah, speed restriction of course cancelled in this case.
Vielen Dank.
ET011, contact München, radar 134, 150, goodbye.
Guys, we're just going to go for, I believe, runway 24, I think, because it's just, it sounds extremely busy, so I don't want to... I don't want to mess him about with the circling. And to be honest, I think every single time we've arrived at Innsbruck, we've always done the circling. So I think, you know, maybe for a change, we'll just do something a bit different. You know, we'll just go straight in. And that's what we've planned for, and there's too much going on. There's too much going on to change it at this point. Okay, so we're coming into Rattenberg here. You may remember this is 9,500 required altitude, which we are leveling off at now, which is good. We're going to go for flaps 3. Speed is checked. Flaps 3.
Viva Colombia, 9
okay, outstart.
Pushback is approved.
Here we go, guys. Look at this. Baby. But yes, Mariner, it doesn't specify runway. That's why I was wondering, yeah. Okay, so we said we wanted to be fully configured by the time we start down. We're not going to have any issues with that today because of the slow speed that he's asked us to fly from this point, which is fine. We've got alt capture now. So that is fine. We're at 160 knots.
In case of missed approach, would you be able to follow the valley visually on the southern part for to Rattenberg later on?
Okay, that wasn't for me. Okay, great stuff. So our VAP is 133.
Now, 914, just for my pre-planning after the localizer DME West, which runway would you like to go for?
Off the 914, I'm capable of both runways, whichever you like. It's possible you can touch and go the after effect to Rattenberg and then normal approach.
We just need about 3 miles to slow down to our approach speed. We'll make sure the approach phase is activated, which it is now. Okay, approach checklist. We'll put on the LS push buttons as well. We needed to make sure that the OEV is identified, which it is. We're a bit late on confirming that, but that's fine. Approach checklist briefing is confirmed. ECAM status is checked. Land distance is approximately 23 miles. Seatbelts we can now turn on. Turn our landing lights on as well as the takeoff nose lights and the runway turn-off lights. So seatbelts are on. Bow ref is 1001 set. Both sides. Minimum is 3,300 set. Engine mode selector is normal. Approach checklist complete.
I already had the check mark there, so therefore my apologies.
Alright, let's go to manage speeds. We're going to go flaps full, speed check, and gear down. Coming on to the localizer now, we'll go for approach mode. We could have hit approach mode already because we cleared for the approach, so that's fine. We've got lock star, glide slope blue, cap 1.
I can say with confidence, respect correct.
Go
ahead, sir.
We are visual with the terrain. If it's possible, we can...
Look at that with the flaps hanging out. That's not something you see too often at this height.
We'll decide later on if that's going to be possible due to opposite departures direction Mokti.
Okay, cool. Let's get track FPA in and let me just bring up the charts here. We need to start descending at 19 miles, so we're actually going to dial that in now. 3.7 is what we need. 19.1, there we go, perfect. We're now descending. Missed approach altitude is 9,500, so that is set. Oh, what happened there?
2,500.
Alpha 3, Bravo Alpha circling runway 08 is approved, wind 260 degrees 7 knots, runway 08 clear to land.
I think it tried to capture the glide slope there, but we don't want that. I should have just hit lock. That's fine. Okay, cool. So we've got FPA minus 3.8 We can track the profile here, but I'm actually going to track the profile on the charts as well.
Romeo taxi up to the Transavia Boeing 737-800 in front and hold short.
Hold short behind the Transavia.
Okay, so it's 17 miles. We want to be at 8,700 feet, which we are at. We're just a little bit high there, so I'm going to increase the rate of descent.
Getting goosebumps there. Austrian 914, enter holding at Elmham as published.
Entering holding at Elmham as published.
16 miles, we want to be at 8,300 feet, which we are still a little bit high, so I'm going to keep that extra 0.2 degrees in for now.
Austrian 21 Bravo Sierra 1.
We're just looking here. We're looking at these. We're looking at these altitudes here. So at 15 miles, we want to be at 7,900 feet.
Once passing A320 has passed. Pushback and approved, facing east, Austrian 21 Bravo Sierra.
Easy 500.
Okay, there we go. We're back on the profile, so let's go back to 3.7.
Direct Adwig.
Didn't report established, I completely forgot.
For the localizer east approach.
Faroeline 9012 is established on localizer DME east.
Faroeline 9012, continue approach, wind check, wind 260 degrees, 7 knots for your information. Preceding traffic is going for the circling runway 08. In case of missed approach, he will fly visually on the southern part of the valley. Traffic information imminent in this case.
Roger, copied, Faroeline 9012. Okay, so continue approach. We've got another aircraft coming for the reverse runway. So that's going to be interesting. Alright, so at 13 miles. 13 miles we want to be at 7,100, which is okay.
Descent 3,000 feet, QNH Innsbruck 1001.
Descending 13,000 feet, QNH 1001, Austin 914.
Faroeline 9012, if it's easier for the flow of traffic, we can go for the circle to land as well, if that works better for you.
No, I would appreciate you going for runway 26. I have 3 aircraft on the ground waiting to go for 26, and this would mess up my ground a little bit here.
No problem, absolutely. Continue for 26 Faroeline 9012. Okay, there we go. That's the decision. So at 11 miles, we want to be at 6,300, which we are, so that's perfect. We're right on profile here.
Waiting for inbound for runway 08.
Look at this, amazing, amazing views here. Woo. Let's check the replay is still recording. It is. Fantastic. Okay, so runway is in sight. You can just see the lights there. Okay, let's keep track on where we are at. So at 9 miles, we want to be at 5,500 feet. There we go. We're absolutely bang on the profile.
Easy 500, no worries. No penalties here.
You can see there is a glide slope diamond here, but there wouldn't be that in real life. So I'm just disregarding that.
Easy, fully established.
Roger.
Yeah, it happened last time. I should have remembered.
Okay, 8 miles want us to be at 5,100 feet, which we are. Great stuff. Okay, so just going to continue on here. As you can see, the localizer is offset to the runway. We're actually coming in this direction. You can see we're more or less pointing that way. So the localizer is, I believe, somewhere in this field to the left of the airport. Mikal, I'll respond to your message once we're on the ground. Ashmore, again, chat. In fact, chat everybody. I'll respond to your messages once we get on the ground here. As you can see, this is a pretty full-on approach here. Lots of snow in the valley. The buildings are completely covered in snow for some reason. That looks a bit weird, but this is an Orbx scenery for Innsbruck, and it actually changes a bunch of this valley area as well, but you can't really see too much because of all the snow. Can we see the ski jump at least? You can sort of make out the ski jump there, but it's gone all white. Both of our NDBs are identified.
Transavia 66101, the Austrian Airbus A321 has passed left to right. Taxi holding point runway 26.
We've not been cleared to land yet though, guys.
One aircraft goes on a stand, taxi to hold point 26.
Faroeline 9012.
There we go.
Wind 260 degrees, 7 knots, runway 26, clear to land.
Runway 26, clear to land, Faroeline 9012. Alright, there we go, we're cleared to land. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust is speed, auto brake is low. Ecam memo is landing no blue. Minimums. Continue.
Proceeding Transavia, hold short 26. Viva Colombia, 9 November, 9 Romeo.
Okay, disconnecting. We're stabilized. Pappy's saying we're a bit high.
Air Glaciers 17. Do you have any preference for the approach?
Very, very light winds here, so I don't need to worry too much about being blown off course.
An RMP approach confirmed.
Hey, firm. Air Glacier 17.
So Roger, Air Glaciers 17, expect the RMP Zulu, RMP Echo, runway 26.
500, checked.
400.
We are stabilized, we're looking good.
300.
Bang on centre line. Bang on profile, although the Pappies, I think they're a different angle to what I'm trying to fly here, but that's fine. Just aiming at the aiming point.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5. 5.
Okay, we're down a bit off centre line there. Let's go for full reverse here. And I'm going to go for max manual braking because I didn't obviously calculate the correct auto brake setting for this one. Alright, there we go, 60 knots. And perfect, look at that, we just made the turn off. Great stuff. Okay, fantastic. Let's get the flaps up. Spoilers retracted. Runway vacated, Faroeline 9012.
Easy 500, wind 260 degrees, 7 knots, runway 26, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 26, easy 500.
Faroeline 9012, welcome to Innsbruck. Taxi to stand of choice via Alpha, goodbye.
Taxi to standard choice via Alpha, thank you very much, Faroeline 9012.
Transavia 6610, behind landing easy, Airbus A320, liner manufactured, runway 26, and wait behind.
Okay, cool, let's get the APU on as well. There we go, fantastic. I mean, I was a little bit off centre line there on the final approach, but I think we can turn VATSIM down now. But yeah, I was a little bit off centre line there on the very final bit of that approach, but I don't know, I'm going to take it. That was nice and smooth.
A320 in front and wait behind. Austrian 21 Welsh Sierra.
Alright, so standard choice he said, so let's see if we can find a stand right here. Dylan, welcome to the chat. Look at that, we've got another aircraft coming in there. We've got someone who's just pushed back here. Oh, I love to see it. Love to see it. I thought I turned the strobe lights off. There we go. Oh, I turned the beacon light off, that's what it was. Okay then, so let's come in at a stand here. The ground markings are not too visible, but I'm going to try and slot in next to this 2E757. Very busy here at Innsbruck. Love it.
Also for Papa Mike, Servus again, cleared Luxembourg, Mach 3 Hotel, climb 160, squawk 1000.
Alright, let's get the taxi lights off.
Cleared Luxembourg, Mach 3 Hotel, yes, 160, squawk 1000. Papa Mike.
Also in for Papa Mike, read correct.
We're a little bit stuck on the turn here.
Transavia 6610, wind 260 degrees 7 knots, runway 26, cleared for takeoff.
Oh no, we're going to hit the wing of this other aircraft. Oh dear. Tell you what we'll do is we'll just stop there. We'll just stop there. Look at this guy. He wants us to come forwards, but we can't. I think there's something messed up there with the sands. Actually, no, can we clear it? Oh, and I think we can just clear it. Shall we do it? Let's just do it. Why not? Alright, APU avail.
Oh, we'll keep doing it then.
There we go.
500, welcome to Innsbruck, taxi to stand of choice for Alpha, goodbye.
Have a good night.
Let's shut down the engines. After landing checklist, flaps are retracted, spoilers are disarmed, APU is on, radar is actually still on, so we've just fried his brain there. Sorry Mr. Marshaller. Predicted wind shear is off after landing checklist complete. Parking checklist, yellow electric pump is off, APU bleeds. We can go ahead and turn that on. Get the external power on as well. Seatbelt signs off and the beacon light off as well. So APU bleed is on, engines are off, seatbelts are off, external lights are required, fuel pumps, we can also turn those off now as well. Fuel pumps are off and parking brake is on. Parking checklist complete. Alright, great stuff guys. How did you guys find that? That was super fun. Really enjoyed that one. Like I say, first time I've flown into Innsbruck on VATSIM, so some of the procedures in terms of you know, what runway is in use and what transition level and stuff like that. Yeah, a little bit alien to me, but we got there. We got there in the end, so that was a lot of fun. We're going to watch the replay in a second. Hopefully it's... Oh my god, it's done the same thing that it did yesterday, where it just... The replay just disappears, it stops recording and you can't play it back. Oh, that's so sad, man. Dear oh dear. I literally did, like, before the stream, I actually did some testing with this panel to make sure that it wouldn't do that again, because it did that in our last stream. And there's clearly something going on there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's clearly something going on there. Oh well, never mind. Let's get the APU bleed off now anyway, and we'll get the passengers deboarded. Obviously we've still got our passengers to get rid of yet, so let me just see if I can actually do that here. So let's get our stairs, baggage, catering, and stick power as well. Open the doors, let's offload the passengers. Beautiful.
We're expecting localized EME East and to enter the Rattenberg.
Another EasyJet, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Alright, there we go guys. Fantastic. So the passengers like the landing, 102 feet per minute. I don't actually know what the landing rate was on SimTutor yet. Oh, it was 57 feet per minute, holy. Wow, okay. I mean, that was pretty buttery. Let's have a look at the landing report anyway. We'll bring up the fuzz pads.
If I remember right, Airplane 112 requesting clearance to destination Heathrow.
Okay, so I was left of the centre line by 30 feet, which is quite a lot considering how narrow this runway is, but considering the approach was so good, we were so perfectly aligned with the centre line, I'm not sure where it all went wrong, but I'll rewind the stream on YouTube actually in a sec and we'll see if we can have a look at that. But the landing rate, 57 feet per minute, can't really complain too much there about that. We had a little bit of roll on, but nothing too major. And 1G, so yeah, pretty good. We were within the touchdown zone just. We almost almost missed it there, but yeah, I think I overcorrected a little bit just on the very sort of in this last sort of mile here. I think I overcorrected sort of nose up a little bit, and that's how I ended up coming in a little bit later than I wanted to there. And on top of that, that probably contributed to me, you know when you have those very quick decision-making things happening in your heads, when you get when you realize what you've done, which is, I realized I corrected too much nose up, so I was trying to connect nose down, but yeah, I must have lost the centerline tracking in that part there. So let's view the flight report anyway. We've got +A+, so yeah, no negative points there. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that. Let's close self-loading cargo. What I'll also do as well, like I said, let's have a quick look on YouTube here. Let's have a quick look and see what that final little bit was like there. Whoa. What? That was weird. Right, so the beauty of YouTube, let's rewind the screen and just have a look at that very last bit there.
Viva Colombia 9 November 9 Romeo, direct.
Alright, so let's have a look. So we're a little bit right of centre line here, correcting left and then correcting right. Still a little bit right of centre line. There we go. Now correcting back to the right. Yeah, I mean we weren't too far off, were we? We weren't too far off. I think I just didn't correct enough to the right. My flow and track, you can actually even see it here on the ND. You can see my track is just a little bit pointing to the left there of the runway heading. And we're obviously flying basically across the runway a little bit like that. So yeah, probably should have corrected a little bit earlier for that. Let's see how we were looking a little bit earlier on. Yeah, so obviously it's an offset approach, so it's you've got to kind of get yourself aligned. And I guess I cut this turn in too close. I think that was my issue. I cut the turn in too close, and then I was constantly trying to correct back to the left a bit. And then coming in. Let's turn the sound on. A little bit heavy on the flare though, I think, maybe. Yeah, a little bit heavy on the flare there, because we did do a tiny float there. 30, 20, and then it stops. Yeah. So a tiny float, but it was well controlled on the runway. Okay, we're down, you know, we weren't zigzagging all over the place. We kind of just. And I'm gonna go. When I knew I was going to land off center line, I put in a rudder correction to the right, so you might be able to see this here. Here comes the rudder, just bringing it round a little bit. There you go. Okay, we're down a bit off centre line there. Let's go. Didn't put a ton of rudder in. I will admit, I probably could have put a bit more in there, but I didn't want to overdo it. Yeah, not too bad. I think that was quite decent. I think that was quite decent, and yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Hope you guys enjoyed that anyway. All right, let's catch up with some of the chat messages anyway. Mikhail says, how do you swap between CAS without seeing the transitions between? How do you swap? Oh, switch between cameras without seeing transitions. Oh, okay, so I'm just using the drone camera basically. So you can see here, if you bring up your drone camera, you've got these fixed camera views here. So that's what I'm using essentially. and then you can swap between cockpit and showcase, cockpit and external. And there's actually a keybind that you can use called, let's see what it is here. You have it on my mouse. I actually have it on my controller as well. I'll show you on there.
Direct to Kempten, Kilo Papa Tango.
Direct to Kempten.
So this one right here, cockpit external view mode. So if you use that keybind, that will basically toggle between, sorry, not that one, the toggle drone. So toggle drone, if you have a, show, oh my god, what's going on? If you have a fixed camera selected whilst you're in drone view, and then you toggle the drone back to the cockpit, for example, then it'll keep that view there. So if you just toggle the drone again, it'll just go back and forth like that. And that's it. Winter, thank you very much, dude. Manical, I think I've probably missed you now, but thank you very much, dude, and have a good evening. Dylan, welcome to the chat. You've just tuned in a bit late. I think we're just finishing off, but I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, how are you doing? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Dave, yeah, absolutely stunning airport. Absolutely love it. And that was just super fun doing that on VATSIM. Yeah, very good. Frostbite, enjoy your evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much, and thanks again for that tip of £3.76. Much appreciated. Have a fantastic evening. Bella, thank you. Glad you enjoyed. You had a question earlier on as well about custom camera views, didn't you? So, what do you mean exactly by custom camera views? Are you talking about sort of like this kind of thing, where you kind of can just move the camera sort of as you wish, like this?
Checking in on frequency, Hotel Mike Bravo, flight level 100.
Mikhail, glad that answered your question, dude. Asa, take it easy, man. I'll catch you again soon. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in as always, dude. And have a fantastic evening. All right, guys. So I did want to do a couple of debriefs on some of our recent streams where we've had a bit of a funny landing, but honestly I was going to do that in the cruise, but because it's been so busy today I've just not had a chance, so I think I'll probably do those next stream. I don't want to do them right now because obviously people are starting to leave, and you know, I'd rather do it when there's more you know, more people here, and people are sort of, you know, not feeling like it's the end, if you know what I mean. So we'll do that another time. But Bella, to answer your question, it's not really a very easy one to answer that. But basically what you need to do is you need to go into a config file and basically just set the camera outside of the cockpit, if that makes sense. So like this, essentially. And then you can set your custom views. So it's quite a difficult one for me to explain just talking to you. But I'll see if I can find... a video that you can use. Alright, here you go. So this is a video that I used back over a year ago when the sim first launched. I'm hoping it's still relevant. But I'll put that link in the chat for you, Bella, and hopefully that helps you out. Any idea why SimBrief doesn't recognise EDDT? That is a good question. Which airport is that? Berlin. Oh, okay, yeah, because that airport's closed now. That's why. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure you can use closed airports on there. Yeah, because I thought you could use Kai Tak. I'm sure I've used Kai Tak on there before. Let's try it. Let's see. Oh no, you can't use Kai Tak either. Okay, so yeah, it's just because it's closed, I guess. Look at this view right here. This is crazy. We chose a good time, didn't we, guys? I love how there's snow on top of this guy as well. This guy must be sat here for some time. Alright guys, anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I absolutely loved that today. That was so fun. I think any opportunity I get in the future, I think, to fly into Innsbruck on VATSIM, I think I'm going to take it. That was just super fun. Really enjoyed it. And although maybe I could have been a little bit better with my centerline tracking on final there in terms of the landing, but other than that, I think everything else was more or less perfectly pulled off. I think we managed to pull off the approach really well, and we were nice and on profile the whole way. And it just worked out really well, I think. I think there's maybe just my hand flying skills need a little bit brushing up. As you guys know, we don't fly the A320neo super often on stream anymore. So yeah, that's just me being a little bit out of practice. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Dieter, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Do LPMA next time. I love the approach. I'll have to check it out, dude. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'll make a note of it, but I will warn you, I do tend to sometimes forget where people have requested. So the best way to request a flight is I have a on my Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description. Let's just do a bit of this. In my Discord survey, which you can find a link to in the description, you can find, you can basically find, there's a section on there for requesting routes into wherever. So if you go on there and drop it in there, then I won't forget. But I'll make a note of it anyway. Just try not to. LPMA, whereabouts is that? I recognise that ICAO code. Oh, it's yeah, it's Madeira. Yeah, we've done that one a couple of times before actually, and yeah, that is super enjoyable, really fun approach. So yeah, I will put it on the list 100%. That's super good approach. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the stream, before you go, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you did like everything. I would really appreciate that. And I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Once again, thank you so much for watching as ever. And that's going to be all from me for today. Stay tuned to the channel for another stream. We'll probably do later on this week and then one at the weekend. So take it easy, everyone. Bye for now.